Good day, Tamers. We're off to Germany. We're going to be playing the finals. Alright, you lot, as I know some of you are going to ask, what was your hotel room like? And it's fairly nice. It's got a nice double bed with a single quilt. We've got two big open windows that look at nothing at all. But to be fair, I wasn't here during the daytime, and I'm not looking at the window at night time. So, yeah, just fairly standard. Pillows was nice and comfortable. Bed was nice and clean. Lots of light in the room. So we've got this, the front lights, this light, and the lights above. So all in all, very, very nice. Lots of plugs. We've got two plugs here, one plug under light, so I was never without source. Smart me though, I have a phone that lets you charge to American chargers, but not to European chargers, which are the pins. So unfortunately there, I had to go downstairs and ask for a pin, which was the fun part. But they literally had a basket full of them, so I was very lucky. I was in, just because you've probably seen it, I was in room 302. Very nice here. Yeah, bathroom, shower, or toilet and shower in there. Apparently German water comes in burning, scalding, or pain. So if you're ever here, you're not German, enjoy your hot showers. Which might explain why a lot of Germans like cold showers. Racking for stuff, and a giant ass TV that I couldn't do anything with because it didn't work. So yeah, room was nice though, clean, what I like to see, and oh, a good heating vent actually. It was just the right temperature to come home to. So, yeah, went to put up my rounds stuff this morning into the video, which is hopefully going to say anyway. It got corrupted between going from the phone to the PC, so we're going to have to do it at home. Yes, this is going to be a bit like juxtaposition. Round one, my opponent was a mirror match of Digimon. To be fair, there's a little bit of a good story here. You have a dummy round when you start the app up, just to make sure that your app works. They also said to us, hey, just reload your apps, you'll get your new tables now, go to your new table. Table turns up, it's table 27. I waddle over there with my big belly. And there's a young lady here. I was like, oh, you're my first round opponent? She goes, yeah, I'm just a casual, but, you know, weekend away in Germany, which is what it turned out to be for me too. I was like, okay, cool. And I'm pretty sure she was playing Masty as well. And about 3 or 4 minutes later, a gentleman turns up behind me and goes, ooh, I'm meant to be playing on 27. Well, I'm meant to be playing on 27. And the young lady obviously goes, I'm also meant to be playing on 27. And the judge comes over and goes, is there a problem? I said, apparently we're having a freeway battle, and I don't know how to do this with a table of 2. He goes, can everyone just refresh their app? So I was like, yeah, flick the app. Yep, table 27. Didn't be behind me. Flicks the app. Table 27. Lady in front of me. Flicks the app. Oh, I'm on table 167. So she has to go all the way down the other side of the hall. Fingers crossed does not get a round 1 loss, because it was essentially nearly 5 minutes into the round at that point. Yeah, my opponent was also playing Masty, so no matter who I had was playing Masty, Masty was very represented during the format, but no Masty made it to the top cut. I know there was a security control deck in top cut, but I don't know if they were just pure security or if they were actually a Masty variant. Game 1, that's 25 minutes, back and forward, slugging it out. He gets Masty out, throws down a Chaos, wipes my board, pops my Miri, goes to me, my turn, move out Agato, Digivolve into Angie Woman, hard play, no, Digivolve into a Lady, hard play the Angie Woman, which gives you opponent -2 security. End of turn effect happens, go up into Masty myself, take the Chaos that's in the trash out, stack, take it out of the security stack, front of the field, Masty effect, pop your Chaos, Chaos effect, pop your Masty. He's like, why do you want to get rid of why do you just want to get rid of my Tamers? It's like, because I'm not scared of your Tamers. There's nothing you can do currently for 2 turns. He's like, okay, I can see. So Yeah, his turn goes. I think gets like a rookie in raising. I think he might play a rookie to the field, and that's what he can do. So swing with Masty for 13 for 2 checks. Doesn't hit anything, doesn't hit anything. Bring Chaos in, doesn't hit anything, doesn't hit anything. And then following turn, do the same thing again. Nothing happened. Round 1 to me. But yeah, it was definitely a very much of a back and front. Game 2, I see no pieces. I've got like 2 rookies. I think I've got like all my megas, but I've got nothing in between. And that was a very short game. I think it was like maybe 4 or 5 rounds, 4 or 5 turns. And that was literally it. Like, yeah, he had a Masty out and was just swinging. There's nothing I could do to stop him. Then game 3 went to time, and it was essentially a case of like, if you can't beat me on your last turn, there's going to be a tie because we had 1 each at that point. He proceeds to go into Masty, swings with Masty, go into a second Masty, swing with that Masty, Digivolve into Ordine with the 2 Masties to finish the game. Yeah. That's that, and I was like, "Oh, did you have it all the time?" He goes, "No, I literally drew it on the Digivolution of the Masty." I said, "It would have been a draw." And it's like, God damn, that feels bad for me, knowing that both games I just couldn't get anything on the board. Since she was going on the board, it was just dying. Nothing I could do about it. That's the mirror. Unfortunately, I teched in you to the deck profile at the end for essentially Blackwall Grey, Grandis, X Heart. I didn't want to. I didn't really think of anything really rogue to any degree. So I just presumed the whole event was going to be just Black War and then X Heart variants. Which, if you watched or heard anything about the European, was essentially, yeah, all the top stuff was Black War and X Hearts and a few rogue decks. So it's like, yeah, I built my deck correctly. I just didn't see any of those opponents, which was fairly annoying. Round 2, I go against Gilmon, go Galamon. The deck I was going to take to finals, but I always felt like I was a turn too far behind. I just couldn't do anything with it because all my opponents were playing like the fast decks. So it's like, oh, yeah, Gal has no protection, doesn't get to do anything. It's really unfun. My opponent then proceeded to turn 2 OTK me both games because they had all their pieces, which, if you've ever played Galapmon, you never get all your pieces because they just don't exist. You've got one search of your whole deck and you very rarely ever see your pieces. But yeah, this guy, apparently every single game, just had a stack, and essentially would go like, go up, pop your little thing, gain an extra swing, swing, go into X antibody, nothing died, unsuspend, swing again, and then like you'd have a little thing on the field, like your search would be out, or had 2 searches out and go swing, swing, and obviously game. That was legit both games because you give them 5 memory, and it's enough. If they go first, you give them 5 memory. And yeah, again, like I didn't see pieces. I had to like hard play, like mirror the first game because I was like, okay, obviously I'll get like another turn. No. Yeah, I didn't realize I wasn't going to get another turn. Then second game, I think I've hard played Gatomon because I needed to just find anything. I think it was literally like all my megas again, like a Chaos in hand and a Flame House Scythe. And I was like, I just need to find my pieces. Search, search, search. I think I hit Miri, Miri, and Miri. It's like, oh shit, I only run 3 Miris. That was just gone. So that was just painful. It was super painful. And then, yeah, that was all she wrote. I think the round was over in like 4 minutes, so I just didn't have anything. And my security most of the time was literally just rookies, which is really annoying. So running 12 rookies apparently is like really bad in any deck at the moment. So I've gone down to 10, hoping that way it should still be okay. But we'll talk about the current deck profile, and then we'll talk about the new one, probably at a later video, see how it goes. Round 3 was a Masty mismatch as well. So Masty mirrors are really weird because, again, if you're teching in to just play the deck, it's a lot different than when you're teching in to play against meta decks, because Masty very rarely cares about Psych and Gazi. The only time you really care about Gazi in this deck is when you Digivolve up with Ignite in the stack, so you gain that 1 memory, or the effects of Angie-Woman and Lady. To be fair, you very rarely care about those effects as well. You're normally just going to Digivolve at the end of turn anyway and just destroy whatever your opponent's got on the field, if you can. Yeah, so they had like a really unique build, which was like the 1-cost blocker Devies instead of the new Devies. And I'm trying to think, they had something else that was really weird. But yeah, their tech choices were quite odd. They ran 3 Chaoses, which I thought was really strange. I think in the old days when we didn't have like the good stuff, I think we used to run like 3 Chaoses, 3 Lady, 2 Angie-Woman, 2 Magna. You'd always just normally have a Magna on the field. He's like, you don't really care about the Anduals. Now you obviously got like 2-2-2-2, and then like 1-1, or like 2 and no Magnus. Depends on your build, but yeah, a lot of people just have like very different builds of what Massey currently is. And his deck slapped because having the ability to just have a blocker that didn't need any sources from your stuff. If you didn't know, the new stuff gives you block and retaliation on your opponent's turn. So when your opponent goes, "Oh, I'll do this," it's like, "Okay, block." Oh, I didn't know. If it's Angimon as well that blocks, it's just an undeletion effect. It's not even a your turn effect. So you bring back a Devimon. It's also now a blocker and a retaliator. So it's key combo is there. It's just, can it be good? The answer is it can be good. Just if you don't find pieces, it's just terrible, which happened to me pretty much all weekend. So going 0-3 was just like ridiculous. Well, what was it? I went 1, 6, and 0. So yeah, it was a really bad like first 3 rounds. I was like, I don't fancy like the gauntlet going back up again. I could have done it. I could have got like top. We got like top 104. Sorry, top 128. I just didn't feel like running it back up. You go like 1-1 and then like 1, and then you go like obviously like 1-2-1. Even just having like the 1 early win, and we guarantees that you're gonna like carry on. But no, they had side events. I was like, I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna do side events, and then I went 0-3 again. First round opponent was Sakuyamon. I thought, okay, this is different. I kind of know what the deck does. I've got it built. They were kind of sloppy with it, but I think it's more that they were nervous. They obviously knew how the deck works. They actually played it in the tournament officially, because that was the fun thing. I heard about this person, I think like round 2. I think it was like, okay, cool. I like to see the idea that someone's doing it. Obviously, now that we don't have Sunrise Buster in the format, it's like a very different deck. It's not as intimidating in terms of like, I'm just going to pop all your security because, woo! No, but they did really well. And I got like 4 bodies on the field. And I swung. They had like 2 security left, and I had 4 bodies. So I was like, yeah, I've got this. There's nothing they can do to stop me from winning now. First security check I hit is a Holy Wave. All your Digimon get -1 for the turn. Crap. I'm like, okay, I've got 4 security left. Like, there's nothing they can do to stop me here. And then they proceed to just pop off. So they push out a Patamon from breeding area. They digivolve their Tau into Sequoia on the swing. They also did red plugin with that's the red plugin, right? The offensive plugin. Give everything like +1 attack, so it gives a +1 attack to itself. Digivolves into Sequoia. Sequoia gets to unsuspend. It swings for 4. Hits like rookie, I think champion and like Miri maybe, and then they swing with the Patamon for the game. Best of one, so all the side events were best of 1 as well. So it feels really bad, especially since like I stopped them from like doing so much during that game. It's ridiculous. Yeah, just who would have realised that control decks aren't good unless you hit all the control options in security. Second game was against Grandis, and this is probably like the only person I can say who was absolutely just awful to play against. He had no idea what like the new Master cards did, instead of asked, or even like some of the old Master cards did, and he wouldn't ask, "Could I have a look at your cards?" He literally slammed his hands onto the table, I'm going to say specifically trying to damage my cards. Because of the way he was like literally just slamming his hand, like playing Snap. Funny thing was, he only did this with my alternate art cards, so I could see the guy was just specifically being a dickhead about it. Which is, only people have problems with in Germany were the Germans. Funny that. Yeah, everyone else fantastic. Just like 2 German people just couldn't behave themselves. Really pissy representation for Germany. Guys, do better. You gotta do better next time. Yeah, so he was just like a proper loser about it. He thought he was like the bee's knees, and that obviously he's playing Grandis, so he should be like top cool, whatever. I don't know. Didn't know the guy. Never met him before. He seemed like a guy that I don't want to meet again. And he wouldn't talk to me. I understand like English isn't like his first language, so you don't always want to talk to people if it's not your first language. But like he just like grunt. It's like he wouldn't even like go Grandis attack, or like just Grandis and then like point. He just grunt, and it's like, yeah, dude, you got to communicate. I can literally call a judge if you want me to, and I can say you're not communicating. We can get you, kicked out, and I'll win a game for free if you want. But I'll just let it slide. It's like, I just want some fun. I'm here for a fun weekend. He was one of those that plays Defex in his deck, which is like, yeah, I know occasionally you have like the room for like 1 like tech card, and he chose that, and I was like, all right, Chaos Degradation. Which then he cried and was like, this format's so bad. I wish you people weren't here. It's like, You're literally playing a counter deck to the best deck in the meta. Stop crying about what you're literally playing like a meta pick. Chill, chill, man. You're playing against Masty, who's not performing very well in Europe at all because it's not seeing any of its best matchups. And then I got rid of like 3 Grandises, and then like just ran out of steam, and he just essentially just went like, oh, obviously don't lie to your opponents. So he was like, oh, what can block, what can do this? And I was like, everything's got retaliation, everything's got blocker, but Grandis can suspend a target. So he suspended my blockers, and then obviously just punches around them. You can't make anything hit you with Masty, unfortunately. Next Masty's going to be like, yeah, you can punch me first. I look forward to that. Battle Masty. So that was a very long game. I think it was like a 24-minute best of one because he just was very slow at his deck, and I was just like stopping him from doing a lot of things, to be fair. And then my third round opponent for that day was Tyrannomon, which again was another round of, oh, hey, everything you have in security is a rookie, and Tyrannomon's not Tyrannomon, sorry, Machine Dramon, and yeah, Machine just goes poke, poke, poke. But they were using the new Metal Tyrannomon effect, which is like when I think you suspend or when you tackle. We can do something. I have to look at the card. It burns a security. Very annoying, and it's all turns once per turn, not just your turn, which is really annoying as well. So obviously, oh, I did this. Okay. Luckily, I annoyed him a lot with retaliation, and Chaos Degradation did put some work. It was in my hand. Luckily, I had access to it in my hand. I had Miri on the field, and they couldn't get rid of the Miri, which was pretty good. But I couldn't. I don't think I ever got Masty out of that game. I think it was a case of like having to go like Magnet into Ophani. It was just, yeah, that was essentially like my games all weekend. You're playing Masty. I never saw Masty. And then Masty never, very rarely got out on the field. But okay, we'd have to basically just be like fall down mode control, which is very annoying because it's not what the deck's for. Then I dropped because you have to win 2 games, and there were 4-round games. So yeah, that was painful. Then I did another side event, and I think it was, what was the other side event? It was like Masty, 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 because it was all, that's all the like people were playing, is because like, oh, we came to play like against the counter matchups. So obviously trying to play. I think you just didn't see it because they're all at the top corner playing against each other, and like you never got to see like the decks you actually built to fight against. You got to see your mirror matches or the rogue decks that you just knew you were bad against, which just feels bad constantly when you go to a tournament to play against like the best people in your region and you don't see any of the best decks in your region. That was day 1. That was Saturday. And then on the Sunday, it was the Monster Tournament, which is like a 6-round best of 1 thing instead. I can't remember what it was. My first game was against D Brigade, and they turn 2'd me because they gained. What did they do? They did their plays. They played big 1 into breeding, and then they did. What did they do then? They did the 2 cost to put that down. I think I went. What did I do? Wasn't a great skill. It was, I think, Ignite in breeding into Angie Man, the Angemon, and then I think I drew Miri off that, so I put down Miri. And then they moved out. They swung with the D Brigades. Nothing died to security, and then I think they went up into Tank, and then Tank let them play. Was it 2 more? 2 more. So they got 4 swings off in that one turn because they gained rush, and then yeah, he was just like nothing I could do, and best of 1 format. And they were like, "Oh man, like Masty's terrible for me. Like it's my biggest counter." It's like, why is Masty your biggest counter? It's anything. It's your best matchup. Oh no, you put all my shit to my trash. I guess I just blah a big giant monster to your field. That was very weird listening to someone tell me how like the best probably matchup for Masty for themselves was the counter. That was their counter. Yeah, I don't understand that. I know it's obviously like, because you don't run anything that says can't play things by effects in that deck, so it's very strange that this person didn't know the deck or got lied to by somebody with the deck. Game 2 was against an English chap. I think it was my first English person was my only win that weekend, which is really weird. They come from somewhere not too far from where I currently live, come from up the road basically. He was playing Exa. It's like, I don't have a clue what this deck really does. I know it's a cool deck, but I just don't know what it does. And yeah, that was like that was a 24.5-minute game of just like, okay, you do this. Okay, I do this. Okay, you do this. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, you do this. Okay, I'll do that. So obviously, you know what Exa does. It's like, oh, you suck something in. But I got I had a very early Masty stack that had retaliation. So yeah, they were like, "Oh, what do you want to do?" I was like, "Well, I'll swing with this then." It's like, "Okay, what are you gonna swing into?" And I was like, "What was it? You pick the thing and it can swing into like my security or something, or I'll swing into um the Digimon." I was like, "All right, I'll pick Devimon because I had the stack out, so I had like the stack with block and retaliation." Um, no, that was it. No, I had the color code, so I had um Devi with retaliation. I was like, "All right, I'll pick Devi." He's like, "Okay, then." I was like, "What's it do?" It's like, "Has retaliation." Crashed straight into his Exa. He was like, "Oh no!" Like, yeah, man, it sucks when that happens, right? And he was just like, "Oh, damn, I didn't think about this." So like that, his first Exa just went bye bye. They can't get anything out of the trash. Masty then crashed into their Break Dramon. I think it's Break Dramon's the level 6 green one. Because I'm 13, they're 12. Bang, gone. Their board's cleared. Then I think I had a couple. I think everything else on my board was suspended, so I just like played a Miri and went to their turn. They searched, and then I think they obviously like counted the cards. I was like, all right, Defx, all right, trash your stuff. Okay, got rid of those things. I think I was able to get up another Masty that game. I was able to go, okay, Masty out again. Drop another Chaos. Chaos came down. It popped is Davis, I think, and then I think I just like crashed into the no, sorry, a Chaos degraded the Defx. I'm not dealing with that. I don't want to deal with it. So the guy was running like 5 level 7s. Oh, not bad. Yeah, it was just a long game. He got me down to I think like 3 secure. I recovered obviously, like because the deck does a little bit of like security recovery. It was like all my chaoses I only ran 3. So to be fair, running 4 chaoses probably was the thing. I ran 3. No, I ran 2 flames. I ran 3 chaoses, and yeah, I ran out all my stuff. I was burning out all his blockers. If he had a blocker on the field, I normally had Devi on the field, so like, yeah, he can block it, but his retaliation he goes to the trash. And he got to the point where it was like his last turn, he had no security left, and I think I had 2 or 3, and he was just like, I can't block you this turn. It's a good game. I was like, all right. So yeah, it was a good game. It was a long game. It was just like after like a long weekend of like not doing very well. It's obviously like, oh, I won. I won my first round, but that was technically my second game. So I keep saying I was like 1-17, but I think like my actual score overall was like games wise, it was like 2-16, which isn't good either. Just don't think it is. So my third round opponent for that was what was it? It was Armor Rush. And my hand was the first time like all weekend. My hand was just full of rookies, and I was like, "Oh great, I'll have to just rookie rush." And they get like Magnet out turn 2, and it's like like crap. I'm not going to be able to do anything this game. Again, didn't see pieces, and that's the problem. Sometimes you just don't see pieces. I've got a new build that I'm going to try work on. I need to try and fit like memory boosting as well. So that was that. And then my fourth round opponent was my first goddamn X Heart, which was like great. This deck is built for X Heart. And then I just didn't see a Psych or Gazzy for like till turn 2 or 3. So they got a few things off. They got rolling. I got fairly unlucky / lucky. Their first swing there was into Chaos. It was a level 4, so it didn't necessarily matter. And then yeah, like didn't see pieces. Like all my like memory stuff was it my memory blocker and my can't reduce costs got bounced to the bottom of my deck, and it's just like yeah, like I think you've got this because like I can't draw anything. I'm not playing cards. I can't physically like move out. I'm not finding pieces again. That was basically the biggest thing on the weekend. Like I can't find my pieces. Like my pieces just don't exist. When you're running decks like this, it's like I think that's the biggest issue. Like a lot of the best decks in the format, you've got like so many searches for your deck, and it's like you either need to like reduce the searches, so like get rid of the things that are really good. Cowboy, you're too good. Oh no, I can search free, and then if you've got the X antibody in your hand to digivolve that thing, I'm going to give you a memory back and another draw on top of the draw for digivolving. Although to be fair, Nasty, if you can survive long enough, you will deck your opponent out, which is quite funny. So that was that. So that was the end of that run. Because you need did I have something else? I played something. I can't remember what they played. Because you can go 3 and 3 was like 10 points. That's the first amount of points you're getting. 10 points is quite a lot of stuff to be honest. Not on the Sunday. Sunday was like repriced, but the Saturday it was really good. Yeah, I can't remember my fifth round opponent. Whoever it was, I can't remember who it was, but like, oh, that was it. Sorry, I missed JJ. I was against JJ for round 3. It was a case of like, if whoever won obviously got 2 points, we got to go through, and he just got, I got like nothing. You can see in my face, I got nothing. I think I've got like a decent poker face, but obviously just went like, ah. It was just realised. but my game, and he obviously knows my deck as well, so it's just like, I know exactly what's in your deck, and I know exactly what's in his. And he went like, he said like, I was just trying to be like a dick about it. It was like, yeah, that's fine. And he was like, I'm just going to pop all your mirrors because I only run 3, not 4. That's fine. But like, I just went like, sod it. Swing Devi into his Omnimon X, and you obviously, in the new build, you don't have a way of, well, you do. You have the Alteris mode if you get it in stack, but he didn't in that stack. So just ran my retaliation into him, and he was just like, yeah, that's going to do it. Can't stop that from happening. So he just like, with that and died that stack. And then, yeah, again, I just proceeded to find anything. That was literally like the weekend, like how to play Master, you find nothing in your security, and then find nothing from your deck. Well, I think a lot of people just think like Masty's a weak deck. Masty's a really strong deck. It's just the fact that it has to. It's a pieces deck, which makes it a lot worse. Which is why Miri's so good. But then again, you just don't find your pieces in the first place, which is really painful. But that was like the story of the weekend. To be fair, Germany was an absolute blast. It was great. Phrase that. Germany was an absolute cold blast because it was icy and snowing all weekend. But it was fantastic, and I'll happily go again next year. A lot of people are saying they want it to be in the UK next year. The biggest issue with that is the fact that the TEOs who actually run everything currently, the ones who have like the really good rapport with Bandai, is Jockmock and Raiden Trade. So they're like the people who have the tournament, if you didn't know. And Jockmock do have a few issues. I'm not going to like reiterate on like the teething is teething, like it happens to everyone. But Raiden Trade has never done a bad event, and they've never done bad like getting your prizes to you, which is always like obviously really good. The only issue we really have, obviously, is the fact that the UK only really has OPE, and they don't necessarily do a lot of things directly with Bandai. They just go like, hey, look, we obviously do Games Expo. We have our own little things here. Would you mind if we were able to like hold things here? They are holding the Ultimate Cup in April, which is fantastic, which means if we have a good run, because obviously they've done 2 regionals, they're doing the Ultimate Cup now. Hopefully, if it keeps going really well, maybe we can try and like convince Bandai, like, hey, let's hold it in the UK this year. That'd be really good. Or maybe they can hold a DC1 event as well, which I think would be really good for us. If we can have like one of every event in the UK, would be nice. Same with like every other country. But that's that. This video is 26 minutes long. I'm surprised how long this video is. Yeah, that's the recap of the weekend. If you want to know about more social things, I met some of the UK's best Digimon players who did top 32 and did go to like top 16. Unfortunately, though, we were going to go for a special curry on the Friday, and then we got to the curry house. It was overbooked because it's a very good curry house, which makes sense. We went to some place called Prime Burger. If you're from Birmingham, you're from Prime Burger. Good place, loved it. Absolutely fantastic. Everywhere in Birmingham does curly fries, which is strange but funny, and they're actually good. Then Saturday, after the event, because we stayed till the end because we wanted to see how like all our pals did and how everyone did really well. To tell you the truth, people that you know from the UK who do well did very well, and then some people who you don't know from the UK also did very well. Eddie Griffin's own Josh did really well. Never met the guy before, didn't know he was there, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, one of my dudes is here." It's like he's doing. I was like, "When you get what? Your dudes are here, but you never give us any mats or anything, you jerk." No, it turns out it was from the Tamer event, which is going on again on April 29th. So if you are interested in the Team Tamers event, head your ass over there. It's really fun. He's have 2 other friends. It is £60, but you do have a chance of winning 6 boxes from the box tournament. Obviously, the more people we have that go down, the bigger the prize pool is. So get your asses down there for some good prizing. And that was that Saturday. One of the Jameses is like allergic to enzymes in salad. To be fair, I know a few people, including my family members, who are allergic to enzymes in tomatoes, which is obviously not great for people who obviously want to eat tomatoes. Me, I'm not allergic to anything. It's fantastic. I love it. No hating. And then, so we were like, "Oh, what do you want to eat?" And it's like, "Well, I'll just eat chips." And it's like, "No, we can eat anything. So where do you want to go eat?" So we went to McDonald's because when in Germany, eat McDonald's. He didn't fancy a bratwurst, even though it was like a massive bratwurst like central shop. It looked really good to me. A lot of people did say to us on the Sunday, like, "Go eat there. It's really good." Then after the Sunday, I think a lot of us were a bit defeated. Not in like a sense of like, "Oh man," but it's like you play like 20 hours of card games. Like even if you love the deck and you love even losing isn't killing you, like your brain. Even now, my brain's just mush from all like this interacts like this, and this does this, and that card does that, and that deck does this, and those do that, and this does this. And I have to remember how it works like this. I just remember, can I do this with that? And that was essentially the game. It was painful. My brain still hurts now. So we were like, yeah, we'll go for a meal. And we went to go for a curry. And then whoever booked the curry only booked 4 seats. So only 4 people got to go have the curry, which is whatever. And then, so we went to Prime Burger again. It was good. Like, the burgers were good. Like, it was tasty. Like, it was nice and clean. The food was good. The people who run the shop were very friendly, very nice. Always good, because sometimes you go places and they just like put you in a corner in that seat. You're in the way. But obviously, being so close to the exposition, so they obviously get like a lot of foreigners. So they were really good with us, and they knew English. And the guy knew the slang really well. Like, he'd be like, "You right, bud?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm good, thanks." He's like, "Thanks for being here. Cheers. We like your custom." To be fair, we must have spent like £1,000 over the weekend at that place, because like a lot of people from the other hotel were just like there every single day. You're looking like £10 a pop for like a meal. So yeah, there's a good chance we spent a lot of money there that weekend, and they're quite happy probably as well. So yeah, we went there. We talked a few things about like how we all felt about the weekend. I definitely did the worst from the English group, and then there was, if you know, Replay, who's a second place regional winner from last year. The year before. Damn, he hasn't won anything for a while. From the year before now. He was like, yeah, I just couldn't get the deck. He was running a Master as well. He just couldn't get the deck to find its pieces half the time. And I think he went like 1. We went 2-2 and like 1. He was like, there's no point me trying to run it anymore, because it's just like that half that was just like no longer getting there. I think, or did he? He might have gone 2-3-1. I think he just realised like, if I get one more loss, there's no point. So he did side events. And then on the Sunday he pulled a goddamn gold Machinedramon. Man's just lucky. Benton 2G, the G that he is, he got top 64, I think, or he got 68 or something like that. He was running a Masty variant as well, and he just found the same issue as like, I can't get my pieces on the field when I need to. I think that was just the biggest like takeaway from the whole event. It's like, you just can't get your pieces when you need to get them at times. You might know Nemesis. Nemesis is also like a finalist regional winner who did really well. He got at least top 32. I think he might got top 16 as well. And then Jalgetsu, who a lot of people know as the winner of, he's the first winner of the pre-release event, which happened like 2020 Christmas one. Happened like literally just before Christmas. He won that with a Galantmon deck. He was also the London regional winner, and then he was the winner of the big massive box event for Living Realms. That happened a couple of weeks later. Probably some of like the best players in the country, and yeah, Nemesis and Jal got top 16, and then Fenton got like top 64, which I know he's not happy with, but like it's still really good, especially for a deck that just didn't have like a lot of favorite matchups into a lot of matchups, because essentially you're just hoping that they crash in security and die, which doesn't happen as much as you want it to. Then that's kind of it for everyone you probably know. Myself, this is probably the worst one I've ever had. I've never ever gone like 0 something. This is like, oh my god, what happened? But then again, I normally play aggro deck, so it's like my game plan is like, if I punch you hard enough, I win, right? This is more like, oh, I'm gonna play a control deck, which I love Masty. I think Masty's been a fantastic deck. I've been playing this deck literally since it came out, but like, just didn't want to perform. Yeah, it was had like anxiety or something like that for the event. Just didn't want to play. Yeah, that was really good. And then the flight back on Monday got delayed half an hour, which isn't terrible. And I think it just continued to be delayed for us today, because some of the people that were coming on the later flight were also delayed half an hour. So it's a bit annoying. I'm tired. I've been talking for like nearly 40 minutes. Oh god, brain's still mush. I'm just tired because I somehow have jet lag a day after I came back. Well, not when I got back. So yeah, that was it. Digimon was really good. Happy to do it again next year. 4 days away. Not necessarily 4 days away, but 4 days in a different country playing something I love is really good. And hopefully, if I know what's going on, I will book the same hotel as everyone else, so I can just play card games for like every single day for X amount of days, and then take different decks from me. So it's like, oh, I have a control deck. Oh, I have a speedy deck. Oh, I have a mid-range deck. But no, it was really fun, and I'd like to do it again. Next time I'm going to see most of these people will be in April, which is I'm looking forward to, because obviously just having an event where you can go to and talk to people is really fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Also, Football Club, April 9th. Get your booze down there if you're in the UK or local enough. Rising. Get those Crimson members, baby. So we'll go over to that part of the video. See you over there. Bye. So this is the deck. I have no idea why the camera's turned around, but here we go. So this is what I was running in Germany, because I was probably being more greedy than I should have been, and I probably should have considered not running the cell, although the cell did come up a couple of times, but didn't necessarily mean I was winning from it. Having a cheap cost as well does help. So I was on the demi mirrors for a long time, because I did like the, oh no, my thing swung into security, died, and I gained a memory. Or if my opponent just like killed my stack, oh no, I gained a draw and a trash. Really good. But a lot of people saying like, just run the Naira, because you generally got a yellow on the field when you want to swing. And to be fair, like, yeah, that's true. I did have a lot of yellows, so it's like yellow, 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 yellow. Doesn't include Tamer, though. It has to specifically be a Digimon. And the play normally was Naira into Ignite into Angimon. And I always find this really funny. Like, he just doesn't die. Like, he doesn't want to die. Or, like, he just won't die. And the reason why I find this really funny is because the whole point of, like, the Angimon and Devimon package is you get a swing with this, you take security, and then you play a Devimon for free. So 9 times out of 10, what your play is going to be, it's like you get this up first turn. If it is your first go and you have these both in hand, you generally will go spend 2 Digivolve, pass memory over to your opponent. And then you'll swing with this. Because you've got a yellow card, you'll draw and trash. You'll trash a Devi. And then if he dies, you get a Devimon with Retaliation and Rush. If you've got a yellow Tamer or Digimon in play. So yeah, so you normally go like, do this, drop this, opponent's turn, they'll give you 1 memory because they normally try and spend 6. You'll go to 2, you'll move this out, Digivolve this to 2, go to 0, swing, it drops, trash a Devi, draw a card, swing with a Devi. Now the Devi's really good because sometimes people just block this. It's like, oh, it's only a 5k, and they don't read what the card does, because people don't read, because we're card game players. And then they'll not read what the Devimon does. And sometimes if it's a big stack as well, if it's something that's really awkward to get over, you can swing into it. And then sometimes your opponents just are worried because they don't read the card again, and it's on my turn. I have Retaliation Rush. So they just ignore it. Although occasionally people will read it and go like, oh, it's obviously on your turn. And they'll swing into it, thinking nothing's happening. And then you'll have like the Masty out, and you'll have the new lady and the old. So you'll have the new lady, and you'll have like the new. And once you've got block it and retaliation on your opponent's turn, so they'll swing into you, and you say, I have retaliation. It's like, no, you don't. It's on your turn. It's like, I have it from this source. All your angels, fallen angels, archangels have retaliation. And like, oh. It's like, yeah. A lot of people will ask before they swing, to be fair, like, to rephrase that. A lot of people who've played the game for long enough, a lot of people in like top tables will go like, what effects are currently active before they do things? Which is the correct thing to do, because you can always say, like, because I want to go Master Effect, let's say like Master Effect, now all my angels and all my archangels and my fallen angels have blocker and retaliation on your turn specifically. Then they will ask again if they've forgotten, or if they didn't do anything the turn before, go, what are your effects again? My effects are these. And it's like, yeah, so people will forget about retaliation on your opponent's turn, and they'll swing into this thinking, like, it's only got retaliation on your turn. It's like, no, the effect of Master is inheritable, gives it retaliation on my turn. Oh, can I take it back? No, because it's an official tournament, and you knew the rules. So do I. So yeah, that's normally like, that's a little combo you can do here, where you swing this out, do this out, get like 2 swings early. Angimon just doesn't die to security. He either hits all the memory boosts, or he hits all the Tamers, or he hits all the rookies. He very rarely dies to security, which is kind of why I run the Callinger from Darkness, because I get fed up about him dying. It's like, pop him, get stuff back, play a Devi. Gatomon is very self-explanatory. 9 times out of 10, no. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 now, you want to just put it into breeding area, move it out, and then just digivolve with the Angie Woman or Masty in hand. 5 memory to your opponent is almost a death sentence. Even on turn 1, if you got Miri out, it's very awkward sometimes. But yeah, but throwing Gatomon on the field, like, there's a lot of things that will just get rid of, like a level 4 or less than 5,000 DP, or it's just a target for something to swing over. Very awkward to deal with. But those are still very good, even if you have to. Sometimes your opponent will just give you a stupid amount of memory. And go like, oh, I couldn't do anything, here's 5 memory. It's like, okay, memory effect, go to the 6, and then like play this, and then play into a lady, and then because it's the only thing on the field, you then throw down a Devi, and then you go into like Masty, and then your opponent goes like, what happened? It's like, this is what the deck does. It's like, you gave me 1 too many memories, or you gave me enough memory to just go off 1 turn. And then obviously you gain memory again, so like you go back to 0, you can swing out with Masty. Chaos is normally just sitting there, going like, I don't know what to do. And the other funny thing as well is because this is the old version, so sometimes you'll run this, you'll throw it down, kill a level 5 because of Master Effect, and then gain a recovery. And then because like your opponent's got a memory setting, you're at 1 memory, you go, okay, I'll put an Ophania mode on top of this, and I'll gain another memory, I'll recover again. So doubling your recovery is really weird in this deck, but it's really nice. It feels really good as well. And then because it's end of turn effects, sometimes you'll have the Ordeal in hand. So end of turn, you can then Digivolve up, do this, wipe their board, and then they just look at you and go like, I don't know what's going on anymore. It's like, yeah, man, that is what this deck does. It does lots of stuff at end of turn, and it's very, very scary, to say the least. So that's this combos. Chaos, I did used to run this thing at 2 or 3. I can't remember what I used to run it at 2 or 3, but it was really good. It feels really powerful. On play, from Master Effect, pop a level 5. On play or when Digivolving, because it's been on play by an effect, you still get some play effect, which is either pop a level 6 or lower Digimon, or trash a Tamer. I will tell you now, in the counter, your opponent will try and get rid of your Miris as much as they can, because they think that's the thing. You don't care about the Miris, like when you're playing against the counter. Pop the Masties, because you need to be scared at all the times what your opponent's got in hand. If they're not running Ordeans, it's different. If they're not running like full down modes, it's very different, because obviously it's like, I'm not scared. If you've got Ordean in your hand and you've got memory to do it, you'll drop this, you'll pop their biggest thing, and then you'll throw down an Ordean. You'll throw down a full down mode, and you'll either pop something else in their field, or you'll recover. And that's the thing. So like, if you're popping level 5 and then going to this, with this thing here, the amount of times that people have like a level 5 and like a level 6 in the field, and then like a level 5. There's not a lot of people get to like finish on a level 7 currently. Obviously, the only issue to deal with is essentially Defx. He's a pain in the ass, to say the least. So yeah, that's really good. Obviously, that's kind of why Psych's here, because, oh, you want to Defx me? You got 20 memory? I don't see 20 memory on that board. Good damn luck then. That annoys him a lot. That's very good. The deck's very annoying to deal with. Yeah, calling it's one off. Obviously, we know why now. Ravemon is just ridiculous, and you just basically cycle the deck with Ravemon if you just had 4 of these in your hand. Play House Lives at 2. To be fair, I want more, because I do like this, because it literally goes, I can play, 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 play. Yeah, so all of your level 5, well, all of your level 5s besides Chaos can be played from that, and lower can be played from Flame House. So it's really good. It's because it goes, this is an unplay effect. If I have a source for it, so if Mira's on the field, I now have Rush, if it's on my turn. Sometimes, obviously, your opponent will smash into, like, Blitz Omnimon or Gao, and I'll obviously go, like, 2 checks, and you go, like, oh, okay, Flame House Life, do 6, whatever, and then, or do 6, play a card, do 6, play a card. It's like, oh, I have all these things on my field now. Or sometimes it's just a case of, like, oh, I have Gatomon, so I'll just go Gatomon. All right, search Gatomon, I'll search. And that's one of the very few times you kind of want to put Gatomon on the field. It feels good to have just like, oh, I've got 2 cats in the field. Oh, I just drew the perfect cards. Okay, Digivolve for 1, Digivolve for 1, go up. Or you can go, it's very weird this. So you can go, depending on how much memory you have at the start of your turn, Digivolve for 1 into Kitty Cat, do the effects, get something out of the trash, or go to look at your security. And then you can go Masty. And then you can do this, and then you can either Digivolve up, or you can do like, oh, I'm going to hard play Magna. So you hard play Magna, you get your recovery at the end of turn, go into Nasty, and then you can either go with this if you want more DP, or you can go this if you want like either like extra attack, or you can go with this if you want blockers. This one has the effect of when you play an option card, pop a level 3, which is surprisingly good into a meta that has level 3 floodgates. Oh no, my level 3 floodgate just exploded. Weird that is. How'd that happen? This actually would have been pretty good. I did... No, sorry, this one gives you retaliation for your yellow Digimon, I think it is. So run the old Lady Devimon, because I used to run it, I thought it was really good, and I was like, oh, I need to start looking at other things, because obviously this deck wants to have like the ST structure deck, as well as having the new cards. No, run the old Devimon. Run the old Lady Devimon, it's so much better, because you will just draw 2 cards, well, you'll draw 3 cards. The second 2 you will look at and go, I don't need to, I don't care for these, throw them in the bin. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably draw your chaos, because the amount of times I used to draw chaos of it's ridiculous. Chuck them in the trash. Holy hell. So good, just value. And then obviously the inheritable effect there. The only difference with the inheritable effect of that one and like this one is this one gives everything retaliation. That's an angel, archangel, or fallen angel. This on the other hand will give everything packed up. When you play an option card, it will pop a level 3 once per turn. Which if your opponent's trying to floodgate you, it's like, okay, alright, I don't care. Because you can't stop me from playing option cards. I'll do a purple memory boost, or I'll do a flame house scythe, I'll get rid of one, and I'll pop another one. And they just look at you like, what? And it's like, yeah, man. Sucks to be you. And it can suck to be them, to be honest, because the amount of times that you'll go like, all right, I'm at 2 or 3 memory. They've got a memory set, so they're going to go 3 anyway. What can I do? Look at your hand. You go like, flame house off, yeah, whatever. Bang, on the field, and they just look at you like, I've got no responses to that. And you just either wipe off a level 4 from their side of the field, a very low level 5, floodgates just disappear, you get to play a card, and they just don't know what to do. Like, it's so confused. It feels so good. It just feels so good. Yeah. So yeah, calling. This is here to as tech choices, pop this, or you can pop your Ordeans, because your Ordine gets popped, it plays level 4, which feels good. Also, you get your stuff back as well. So if this has got like a level 3, 4, 5, and itself, pop the level 6, you can get the 3 and the 5 back, and then you can bring the level 4 out, especially if it's Devimon swing. Or Angemon, which you don't want. You want the Devimon because you want the retaliation. I know people are using this and the old Masty, so when they get the effect of like playing level 4s, they play the Black Gato level 4, because it's also got Rush, and it's 2 colours, so that's what we want the colours. Flamehouse Scythe, again, just a very good card. Gives something minus 6,000 DP, and then play a Digimon from your trash that has 6,000 DP or less. Very good. You can still use this on targets that says you can't have its DP reduced, so you still go like, okay, this, remember, Digimon is do as many effects as you can. I'll give that minus 6,000 DP. Well, I can't, but I can still do the unplay thing effects. So I'll do the unplay thing effects as well. This also synergizes with Masty, because Masty is when anything is unplayed. So yeah, so turn 1, do this, get your stuff out. Following turn, or on their turn even, they pop this in security, and you play something, and it's oh, it's a level 5, and it pops a level 5. It's very useful. I think people also forget about that as well. And then Chaos Degradation is just, there's like one card currently, which is Galactic, that goes like, I don't have to be removed from the field. Every other card just goes bye-bye, because there's nothing that stops you from just going, all right, and now you're in security, and I'm going to put you at the bottom because I'm scared of you, and I'm going to pop the top card because I know what it is. Yeah, a lot of people wonder why you put their cards to the bottom, and when you have a deck like this where you want the Angemon to die continuously, that is why I want the Angemon to die continuously, so that way, if I know the bottom card is going to be like a big thing that will actually kill Angemon, I can then bring it out the Devimon the following turn and swing for game, which your opponent will be surprised by. And then Miri at 3. I'm going to start running this at 4. I did pull a 4th one while I was out in Germany, because you get participation packs. And I'm going to try and see how 4 feels. This new version of this deck's going to feel really weird, because I've got the 1, the 4 now, and then 4 of this. So this is good. The colour coding should be good. And then these have been cut down to 2 each, because I like the package. But when you're not pulling any like your level 5s and you're only getting these out, it does feel very janky. I'm taking the Salamons out as well, because they feel very disgenuine to the deck at times. You don't really care for the colour searching, because you do a lot of drawing in this deck, although it does help you find pretty much your Gatos and then anything past here. Now, I do hope, and to be fair, it might be a little bit too broken, this is why I say I do hope, that we do get a purple-yellow Angie-Woman and a yellow-purple Lady Devi, just because like finding the colours sometimes is a pain in the ass, because you do want to have like a way of getting to your ability to use these. Obviously, if you've got Mira in the field, you can just use them because she's on the field. The amount of times that people will actually go to you and go like, you can't play Chaos Devastator, you don't have a yellow-purple source. And you go, you're right, I have a purple-yellow source. They go, well, it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter what order they're in, as long as I have the colours, it's fine. And Miri's sitting here looking pretty, going like, oh, girl. Yeah, it's quite good. So, this is the deck profile. If you've got any questions of why it was terrible, it's essentially either bricking, or essentially I couldn't find the pieces. If I had Lady Devi, I couldn't find Angie-Woman. If I had Angie-Woman, I couldn't find Lady Devi. I have been talking to some of the people there, and they're basically giving me like their version of the decks, and I'm kind of putting it together for Ultimate Cup that may or may not be good or bad. I think a lot of people now are looking at the X-Heart stuff because of how good it was over the weekend. But this deck is actually a really good counter into X-Hearts, because can't gain memory, can't reduce costs, and if you can't get that out on my turn, It's really good. A lot of people looking at it now, and if you can't get like the 11 memory that you need, you don't get to play like that first turn OTK kind of situation. And again, you're not getting to that point where you can do that because I'm not going to allow you to get that. Because obviously, if I go first and I put down my you can't reduce costs, worst thing you can do is put me at 1. And that's the worst thing you can do is put me at 1. So yeah, that's pretty good. I like the deck. I think it's really fun. I'm going to try and run it as much as I can. As I said before, I am much more of a control player, much more of an aggro player than a control player. So it does feel very weird to have this deck, but there is some like aggression in this deck, so it's not just like a sit back and watch your opponent squirm. But no, I do like this deck. If you guys have got any questions, leave it down below. And yeah, this is vlog number 1 done. And hopefully when we go somewhere live in the future, we'll have vlog number 2. I might even be wearing a suit. So yeah, spoilers there for you. See you guys soon. Peace out and goodbye. Tell me about your weekends if you got to play in nationals or finals. If you played down in Oceania, I think Oceania was also finals as well. Yeah, the meta's been very weird for everyone because everyone's playing something different. But we'll see you soon. Peace out and goodbye, and catch you next time. Peace.